Happy Friday. Hopefully everyone's having an awesome day. As I said, I took today off and so I turned off all my alarms so the alarm clock wouldn't wake me up, and I woke up at 5 a.m. My alarms usually wake me up around between 6 and 6:15. So I've been up this whole time just relaxing on the couch. Probably won't be going camping. It's still a little bit too warm. And plus what I want to do, I really need someone there or a truck, and I don't really have a truck. So with that being said, this is Friday, and I just have some opinions on what I get out there on the news. Now, hopefully it's just be a quick video, but this right here, the reason why the FBI had to go after Trump, raided the Trump, even though there's certain people out there that are trying to redefine what a raid is. They want to say that this was a search warrant. It was a search. It wasn't a raid. But you don't go at 6 o'clock in the morning before the sun's out. It was just a normal search and seizure request. This was a raid. And now I don't think that the FBI was trying to make a public stunt. Maybe they knew. Maybe they were trying to play Trump to see what his reactions would be so they could counter it. But according to this, an FBI agent, a report that the FBI agent searched classified documents related to nuclear weapons at Donald Trump's Florida resorts could explain the urgency and the unprecedented operation at the home of the ex-president, and takes his showdown with the Justice Department to a grave new level. Now, this is CNN. They're going to be anti-Trump, which is to be expected. I thought they got a new president and they were slowly turning gears. I don't know. The account in the Washington Post, which I cannot read because they want me to pay money. Sorry, Washington Post. I don't trust you, or CNN or Fox. Could also undercut the Republican lawmakers who didn't wait for details of the case before criticizing the search that they claim was more typical of a tyrannical state. Well, the day that this happened, the FBI director, the AG, could have gotten on camera and made a statement. Could have made a statement. That's it. They could have made a statement. Didn't have to give up the whole information of the case that they have against Trump. But they could have given us a little tidbit. Instead of waiting until Thursday to do a press conference, and the only thing that you said for the AG said was policy. Get out of here. I mean, this is why the speculations are out there. This is why you got people out there that thinks this is a threat, because you're not doing your job communicating. Like I said, you don't have to give up the whole case. You don't have to show your whole card, but give us enough substance so this is warranted, not just policy. And of course, shame on CNN. Of course, the Republican lawmakers have every right to speak out like this. I know that they're in office. I know that they're the government. But the FBI and the Attorney General are not speaking to the government to say, hey, this is on the uppy up. Here's the evidence. Then, of course, they're going to be speculating. They have questions. We have questions. But to say, well, shame on the Republican lawmakers for speaking before they have details. What details? They're not even providing details. And we literally have to take a crowbar and get any information out of them. And that's the part that I have an issue with. If Trump really did commit a crime, and if it really was an issue with the nuclear weapon protocol or program that could initiate keys to launch nuclear weapons, then they should have said that at the beginning. And he should be held responsible. But yeah, there's a fun fact. I don't know if you follow, I think it was Buzz, I forget what his name. I don't think it's Buzz Armstrong, but something like that said that Bill Clinton lost the codes to the nuclear weapon when he was in office, and nothing happened. They found it a couple hours later, according to his account. But still, I mean, they had plenty of opportunity, from what I could tell, unless they're lying, which they could be. Trump was working with the government to retrieve documents or make sure documents were properly secured. But yeah, going on to this crappy news article. Oh yeah, Chris, latest development also furthers up the stakes of an escalating legal battle after Attorney General Merrick Garland on Thursday said that the former commander in chief's bluff, in an unusual move, asked the court to unseal the search warrant and the inventory the property was taken from Trump's home. We want the affidavit. We want the document that the FBI gave to the judge to sign off on the warrant. That's what I want to know. Now, of course, I'm not going to read all this because I'm pretty sure everybody knows pretty much all of this. But you don't just raid a former president without any details being told to the public. This is humongous. And this is why media like CNN and MSNBC and all the other ones, other than Fox, is saying this wasn't a raid. This was a search warrant. There was a search and seizure. It's not a raid, but a raid is something that happens from the police officers and from FBI when they want the element of surprise. Yes, there's multiple definitions resulting into similar aspects. They raided Donald Trump's home. They raided his home. Now, he's not an average Joe citizen. He's not one of us. The FBI, in my opinion, and the Attorney General need to bring out details and not wait until court cases are done with. They have some answers. Now I'm not asking for the full display of everything that they have on them, but they need to at least give us probable cause. But they're not. They're just citing this. It's the policy of the government to not to comment on an active investigation because we have to operate in secrecy, not to tip our hand for the offender. I'm pretty sure Trump already knows that you're going after him. But this is what Tulsi had to say on Fox News. I don't know when this was. This was Jesse Walters' prime time. But this is from Tulsi Gabbard.
I hope that those who aren't paying attention do take notice, because if you think this is just about Trump, you're wrong. This is about every single one of us as Americans, and this precedent that's being set of an abuse of power that's not even being hidden anymore. I think it maybe was happening behind the curtains, or maybe they were denying it was happening. It is out in the open, in broad daylight, blatant abuse of power, targeting political opponents, targeting those who dare to dissent, and attacking our most fundamental constitutional rights and freedoms. So don't think this is about somebody else. Don't think this is about just people of one, political persuasion. This is about every one of us as Americans and protecting our rights and freedoms.
Yeah.
I hope that those who aren't paying attention.
So this is the Democrat. I know the people don't like her because she voted for Bernie Sanders during the primary of Hawaii. And Hillary Clinton, of all people, alluded that she was a Russian spy or a Russian puppet. But I have my issues with Tulsi, but I actually trust Tulsi. Now, she is a politician, so there's the trust isn't really there because I don't trust politicians. But out of the pool of politicians, both former and current, I do trust her close to one of the most people out there. Just want to throw in that disclaimer. But the issue that I'm going to see is the reason why AG did his speech in the way that he did, it's because idiots like this guy, and yes, this idiot is an idiot. Now, this, and the issue that I have with this is there's going to be people that are going to be speculating here. And that's terrible. It's terrible. This is why the FBI and the Attorney General needs to answer some questions. They don't have to give up the whole hand. But of course, the next play is going to go after Truth Network and go after Trump supporters and go after Republicans. That's right, a gunman who died on a shootout after trying to get inside the FBI in Cincinnati office appeared to have post calls on social media and the FBI to be killed for making and for people to take up arms and be ready for combat in the wake of the search of Donald Trump's home. Raid, a law enforcement official said. I honestly believe that there's nut jobs out there that actually believe this. I want anybody to listen to this. We do have to fight back, but we're going to fight back at the ballot box. We have to be level headed. Don't get me wrong, there may be a time for combat, and we have to be ready for that. But our first course of action will always be at the ballot and protesting peacefully. Always go the peaceful approach. Federal investigators examined social media accounts that believed to be tied to the gunman. Yeah, we don't really care. He posted the urge of violence after the FBI entered the Mar-a-Lago in Florida, according to the official who was not authorized to discuss the investigation publicly and spoke to the Associated Press on the condition of anonymity. At least one of the messages on Trump's Truth social media platform. Actually, Trump doesn't even own Truth Social. He's just a backer, I guess. Or he's just sold his name to it, just like he always does. Appeared to have posted after blank tried to breach the FBI office. It said, if you don't hear from me, it's true. I tried attacking the FBI. They did the same game with Parler. They did the same game with Gab. It's all about messaging, and unfortunately, people out there buy it. I see hate every day on Twitter. Every day on Twitter, I see the hate from the left or the alleged left. Don't get me wrong, there's some cool people on Twitter that disagree with me politically. And those tends to be very interesting conversations because we're level-headed. We try to go off the facts, and there's no name calling. But there's a lot of name calling for people from the left. Now, I'm not saying it's just on the left. There's some people on the right. Don't get me wrong. It's across the board. There's people on both the Republican side and Democrat side and independents who lean more to the left or more to the right. They have their moment. Don't get me wrong. But we must not let the media play this message or alter the message. And I do think the Dems are toast. Because if nothing comes out of this investigation, if nothing is being told before November, then we need to let the United States government and Congress know that we want answers. And one way to get the answers is to not vote for Democrats. Now, I've stopped voting for Democrats a couple of years back. The way that they treated Trump, the lies that they would do. Actually, what broke me was the 2020 Summer Love riots, where you had the vice president or running vice president bailing out people that were arrested for rioting, for destroying neighborhoods, destroying property, and she wanted to bail them out. That's probably what was the final nail for me for the Democrats. These people don't want rule of law. They don't support the blue. They don't support anything unless it's in their benefits. I'm sure that they'll support the cops when they arrest Trump supporters or take out Trump supporters, then they're all back the blue. Don't get me wrong. I back the blue, but I have conditions. With that being said, I'm pretty much rambling at this point, so leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are. Do you agree with Tulsi Gabbard that they're not after Trump, they're after us, and this is a move on their part that they don't care to hide it anymore? Let me know in the comments. And please smash the like and subscribe button, or even share my content on every and other platforms, or just a platform that you're currently watching. But most importantly, have yourself an awesome weekend. Now, I probably will be live this Sunday around 5 o'clock Central Time, or Chicago time if you're into Linux. But enjoy your weekend. Hopefully, it's not too hot, so you can enjoy being outside. With that, have yourself a wonderful weekend.